Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining the session. Today, our topic is user registration. As we know that we are building the Django Health Insurance project, right? As part of that, we are every day enhancing the project with the various concepts, right? Today, we are going to talk about something called user authentication module. In that, we are going to invest more time onto the user registration in the sense like we are going to use something called signup form, and we'll little changes the menu and some alignments, which is really helpful to how to create it and all. Okay, so let me go to the our website. So far what we have done, I've little changed this the home page. I added a small image. Previously there is another image. I created the a brand new image for our application, and you can now see that rest of all things are normal. Okay, so we'll do one thing in just a few minutes. We'll change this menu, then after that we'll start implementing the user registration, right? So what we can do now, so this hospitals, patients, this model queries, companies, claims, startup, staffs, sorry, it's a staff, and contact us, and finally admin screen out there, right? So I don't want to keep all these menus in here. I will change it to the drop down. So we'll go to the now again bootstrap, okay, bootstrap 4, and there is a uh, nav bar, okay. I want drop down one, so let me go to the here. I will put a few of the things into the drop down. So this is a drop down. You can take this entire list. Okay, this is the list. This list which I am taking up, and sorry, going to place into the our code. You can see our Visual Studio code. Yeah, these are all like apps. We have it in the base app only. In the templates we have the base.html. In the base.html only we have menus. This menus only I'm going to use it. What I'm going to do, right? Okay, let me do it after this patients. And because what I'm going to do, I want to mix these are all menus into the and drop down. Okay, let me add it here. So this is a drop down. If I go and save, and you can refresh our page, and then you see there is a drop down which is added here, right? So in this drop down I will add most of the under sub menus. That's where it works basically. What I'm going to do, right? Okay, I will do like this. So okay, I will use this the contact as space there. So I will remove this this one completely, the contact as space. I'll keep it there in this menus where what we have it here. For example, this is, and this one is the contactors, because I don't want all the menus into the direct menu. I'm changing to the sub menu basically. First we'll do, next user authentication will start. Okay, now in this action, so contactors is okay, then I will move to the something like even we can take the admin screens. Just you can copy this, let me go to here, and I will add here also admin screen, I mean admin menu. Basically I'm adding it. Put this one is the admin, something like this. You drop the item menu, it's all is done. I don't want this, just remove it. Okay, so what is that, right? We are actually creating the like settings or like others. I'll give other different name later, but you can see if I can go to this, the page, if I can refresh here, we are actually bringing everything into the others page, because I can click on this admin, I can go to this. If I can click on the contactors, I can go to the contactors, something like this. So my point is to that I will reduce here the names. So just a little alignment only, much more. So here this contact us we have done, and admin we have done. I will remove this. Okay, fair enough. And this contact I will take. I will add one more row. This one. Okay. So we can use this just to copy paste. Okay. This is only the contact. This is this contact. Okay, one is with the model form, one is without model form, right? That's one which we are using it. You can close this list, and we have staff, claim data, and insurance company. This all queries also I will move here because I don't want to show in the direct menu. So let me take this list, not this one. This anchor tag, add one more anchor tag here, and you can in this all queries also I will move there only because I don't want to show in the directly in the menu. So drop down I am adding it here. Okay, you can say that this is the all queries. Okay, now I'm going to remove this all queries from this. This list is removed now. And what else we can remove it? You can keep rest of all things normally. So I will go to the page. Then you can refresh it. Okay, the spelling is wrong. All queries. Okay, because I added much more. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Okay, now you refresh the page. Okay, it seems that okay, I understand that. Okay, refresh the page. So I actually changed all menus little shorten. I'll keep this entire thing menu into the last. Okay, so not in the middle. So just you can go to this tab, and here in this list you can add it. Okay, so this is fair enough. So you want this should be shown in the color is white. So just we can give the white color, and because we are using the black background or something, right? So you can give this white color, and here also wherever there is a class we can give this one. Okay, for example, if you can go to this, you can see okay we have it, right? So others admin contact us all queries, fine. It's clicking on it, getting it, contact us, admin. Because I'm checking all the screens are working on it, but all queries is not working. The reason is all queries percentile. Okay, because I given this one. This is correct now. Okay, Control S. Now you can go on changes to click on this others all queries. Okay, still it is not coming up because the URL does not exist. Okay, 1 second here. URL all queries. Okay, tick, 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 tick. This is the all queries, right? It's saying that this is not found, right? What I can do now, this is fixed now. So maybe this issue is, let me go to the, okay, it's coming now. Yeah, all queries working now because I started the server and all. Okay, so now we'll go for registration, how to build the registration page. We'll see now. Okay, so I'm going to create a new model. So we'll quickly create the model. The model name is the profile. So what I want extra in this model, it's very simple. So what I will do, right? I will create a new module name is called the user. So why I need to create user app here? I need to create a separate app name is called the user. So what I'm going to do, right? I want to create new user. So you can say that Python 3 manage.py and have to use the start app right? Use the command user. So I'm creating a new app name called user. I'll keep all user related like user sign up form, login form, and user related what I can say that reset password, reset form. Everything we can keep it into the this user only. Okay. So I just created the app now. What we can do, right? We'll go to this HIC and especially like in settings. Whenever you created the app like user, we have to keep that information here also, right? So I'm going to add now, this is the user one which we have created. So now I'll scroll down and this is done. We have just added the user app here. We have to go to the URLs here. And in this URLs, we need to add that user.urls. So path, so here it is the user and user.urls. We can give like this, right? So, but in user, I have not created the URLs so far. So I'm going to create the URLs. This is already discussed many times, how to register the app, how to create the URLs. We have spoken many times. This is not the first time, right? So now what I can do, right, guys, I'll take any URLs which is there. I'm just going to copy this and using the URLs here, just simply, I will remove this one. I will create a profile is separately. What I'm going to do now, I'm creating the profile user registration profile. So you'll keep these URLs like this one. I'll come back to this one once we build the model. So what are the things I need basically? See, if you go to the normal Django, I'm going to open the PG admin. Okay, I will show you something. So because this will really helpful to you. What are the user columns we have it so far? We have first name, last name, and password, and these things are there. But I want extra information on the top of user table. So let's see this, how we can get that information. Yeah. So now if I'm going to expand the servers on PostgreSQL 9.6, and here is the password is the admin. Now I'm going to expand the databases. So what is the database of ours, which we are actually using it is insurance health. Okay. And you can use this, expands the schemas, and the schemas, you can open the public and you can go to the tables and you can see there's a lot of things we have it here, right? A lot of things are there, but I'm talking about the user table. In this user table, you can go and see the data. It's very simple. In this, so point of what I'm going to tell you, the point here it is, we have the ID, password, last login, and surname, first name, all are there. What if I want extra details for the user? For example, date of birth is not there here. So those kind of things, if I want, what I need to do. So for that, what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to create separate, the model name is called the profile. It's a separate entry table in the database. So let's go now. We'll try this, how this works basically. Okay. So what will be there in the profile table? That's the question, right? So basically we can keep the like age and because that is needed, and profile image, biodata, and gender, birth date. All these things we can keep it into the profile. So class and profile. So inside there's the models dot the model, and you can keep it here. And for example, I will take here age. I want extra information which is not there in the table, right? So you can use models dot and age, right? It's a positive integer always. So positive integer, just you can keep it. Then what else we need here? This you okay? Again, maybe question comes to your mind. What are these users? These users are who maintaining this application. Okay, these third-party users, they will maintain all insurance company information. They will maintain all the information about the patients, claims, processing, everything they will mention here. The age. Now we can take the profile image. Thus we can say that image. So the models dot and the image field. So this I will say that the blank is equal to true or something. So okay, we can mention that one. Okay, so blank is equal to true and null is equal to true. Just for time being. Now what I will do, right? Okay, So I'm going to upload all these images into the upload to. There is an attribute here. Okay, upload to. We can mention the path. So path is here images. Already we have it. I will send all this information to the users. Okay. So in the images folder, I will keep all the users related images into the users folder. If it is not there, it will create by default. Don't worry. Okay. Second thing is the user, right? So what I'm going to do, right? I want to add a user here. I want to add a image. I want to add a biodata like that. I'm adding it everything, right? So let me add now biodata. So simple. This is the text field, and so maximum length of this text field is 300 characters, and the blank is equal to true. This is not mandatory. Yes, this is not mandatory. So that's why I'm just giving like this. So even this is also not mandatory ages. Okay. So blank is equal to true, and null is equal to. So I'm just changing it. Okay. Here also null is equal to and true. As simple as, right? So we are adding some more fields here. For example, gender. Okay. So gender, I'm going to take it here. Gender is equal to. Okay. So if you want to create a gender, first we need to finish the gender choices here. So I will take the simple dictionary, gender underscore choices. Okay. And we have to give the choices here. For example, now this is M. M is actually for female. So this is a like key and value which we are giving in a tuple. Basically, this is a tuple. And again, one more. That is F. This is for the female. Okay. Female, right? So we are done now. What I will do, right? This gender choices are there, right? So what we can do, it's very simple now. So we are going to add these gender choices. So models dot and the gender is a char field. So in that char field, we have something called choices attribute. This choices attribute will add this gender choices. So it's going to be a drop down when you see the data, right? So next one after gender choices, we have something called max length. Okay, so max length is equal to what we can mention here. It's max length is always some value. Okay, so maximum here is 10 characters and not more than that. Okay, we can mention that. So so next one is the blank is equal to true, which is also not really a required field. So that's the reason I am saying that blank is equal to true and null is equal to true. Okay, so we are done now. So gender is also done. So last one is the birth date. So we need the birth date, but anyway, by using the age also we can calculate the age by using the birth date. But I am taking birth date is equal to the models dot and date field. Okay, so this is the date field. This date field actually there in the top of it. Uh, in the date field we can take the time basically, right? So we need to import or else we'll do one thing. I'll go to the package from date time, which is a model. Inside the model I'm going to import the date time. Okay, this is the class. Date time is the class from the date time model. So what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to default current date. Okay, so there is a default attribute here. So default default attribute. In this default attribute we use this date time dot now. So this is how we can mention it, right? So basically function call is not required, just we can mention, and the blank is equal to true, null is equal to true. I'm just going to add the same thing here, right? So we're done. But there is one more important thing. This profile should be registered with user, right? Okay, what I mean to say that you can see here, there is a user can have the profile. Am I correct? User can have the profile. one user can, how many profiles can I have? One user can I have only one profile. Okay. The profile which is belongs to one user only. Profile is belongs to one profile only. This is called one-to-one relationship, right? One-to-one relationship. So whatever the profile we created, this is one-to-one relationship. We need to map to the user, right? Because user login name, we have all the usernames and everything in the user table, but we are creating the extra table called the profile. We are adding the extra fields here. We are taking more information from the user like age, image, biodata, because these fields are not providing by the Django by default. So we need it from the user to when the user is registering it. But not all the fields are optional, because I'm mentioning here it is a profile, okay? Because you may think like, okay, you're saying that registration, but why this profile came? So it is a user and profile registration. Both we are actually handling it because we are taking more information from the user, okay? So now user, and what I'm going to do now, what we can do now, we can add this user and say like this models dot one-to-one field. In this one-to-one field, we can mention the first one is the user. So Django by itself is providing the table name is called the user, that we can get it from this frame where, you know, this user is the one of the predefined class, which is actually pointing to the a authentication module, okay, model. So let me go and use this Django dot contrib. Okay, inside the contrib there is something called AUTH. This is called authentication. Inside this authentication there is something called models, and you can import the one which is we have it is the user, right? Okay, so you can simply save this, right? Okay, this user, what I will do, right, I'm going to place it here, right? Where I can place it, guys? Anybody tell me where should I place this one? Here. So this one-to-one field, I'm mapping to the existing user table. This user table is provided by the Django. You don't need to worry about it. So you are creating the profile here for the registration purpose or like profile update purpose, but you are using the existing user table. This user table is containing the username, password, email, and all. But those details we are not asking user here. Okay. Hope this makes sense for you. We are taking the user information to the profile also. Okay, that's where we are mapping this. This is always one-to-one field mapping. So user and the relative name means you can give some name here. This is nothing but alias name for this one. So I will give this one is the profile only. I will not change anything here, but we can do it later. Okay, so for example, on delete is equal to then models dot, and this one is the cascade. So like we are cascading it. If table is relationship is deleted, also the corresponding relationship will delete it. So we have now the birth date, gender, the age, image, and a lot of things we have it, right? So something like this, we can able to make it. First name, last name, and all we can take it from the profile itself. Okay. So what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to create a profile. We can do it tomorrow, but I will use these fields for the registration. I created just for like this. So I'm going to use now registration. But before that, once we build the model, we have to do something like make migrations and migrate. So I will do it in shortly. But remember, I'm going to the now forms. I'll create the forms here. Okay, there is no forms here. So let me create a form here. So for example, new file and forms.py, because we are working on the forms, right? Especially these are the registration fields. So let's go and create now form. So this is a sign up form. That's what I can say. That's class sign up form. Okay. So what will be there in the forms? If you can see the previously, okay, I will go to the one of the forms and show you. I think in the base app I created, if I'm not wrong, you can see this is the forms. If you want to use the forms from the Django.import forms, same way in the user forms, I will import this. Just will keep it this. This sign up, right? I'm using the forms means forms dot which form it is. Is it the model form? Yes, it is a model form only. Okay, it's a model form. We just keep it here. And profile I'm going to implement tomorrow. Today is the registration, but I just given the flow. Okay, I just explained the flow, something like that. So you may get some idea later. Now this sign up form we have it. So now what I will do, right? This sign up form, I want to show. Okay, I will put it as a sign up form here, just for understanding purpose. Okay, sign up form forms.model form, and we can use the class meta here, and we can write which model we are referring to. Okay. So which model we are referring to? It's very simple, right? We are referring to the model name is called the user, and the fields we are mentioning it. So I will say that model is equal to user. We already discussed what is this, but where this user is there, this user is said like, okay, so in this model, this is the user. You have to import this, go to mention here. So from django.contrib.authentication models, import user. This user is starts with, U starts with uppercase letter here because it is a class. Okay, it's a class which is given by the Django itself. Users with the Django authentication system are represented by this model. Right? We are using the existing table only. Now I want to mention the fields here. Okay, the fields is equal to, then inside that we can mention the all fields, or like for registration, what are the fields you want, you can mention here. For example, I want username, I want the password. Okay, um, okay, so password also we need, right? And also first name, so first underscore name, and because these are the existing columns in the user table. You can also go and verify this. For example, if you want to see these columns, let's go to this PG admin. You can see these columns only I'm providing here. Okay, if you want to see that columns, let me expand here. Just go to the columns here. There is the ID, password, last login. These information only we are asking. Okay, so username and all. So let's go to this same username, the password, and the last name. And one more thing is, if you want to add email, you can add it. So we need to ask email, and that's it. So let me put this password at the last after email, after using the username and password. So finally this is the username. So re-enter password. We'll enhance this application a little slowly, so just bear with me, but slowly this application will get more enhanced, and you may get a lot of ideas. It may enhance a little later. So we have now class meta model is equal to user and fields these fields. Okay, fine. We are done with sign up form, but we'll come back to this one. We'll enhance little more. We'll add more fields and we'll update it. It's continuous stuff basically. So what is now? We are done with the first. We are done with model, but this model is not related to this one. Okay, this profile model I am not using it today. Maybe in next session I will talk about this. But here I am using the sign up form. This is the user. The fields is equal to username, first name, and last name, email, and password. Fine. This is somehow is okay. We created. Let's go to the now views. I want to make a call to this. Okay. I want to make a call to this. Let's go and very simply we can finish it off. How to create a view? We can write view name, function views I'm creating at this moment. In future, we can create the class-based views. Sign up view, function. So it's a request, first parameter, input, and you can start here. So if request dot method and equal to, so what if it is a post method? You just mention here, and you have to import the sign up form from, so we can say that dot forms and import, and it is a sign up form. So you can use this sign up form here. If a request dot method is equal to first, and you can create a sign up form object here. Sign up form is equal to, you can use this class. So inside that we can use the request dot and post. Okay, and if so, yeah, you can see here I'm going to use this object. I'm creating basically an object here. So this is a sign up form object. Sign up form dot is valid. So if it is valid, then we are going to save this data, right? But I'm going to enhance these things little later. We can use other functions like is bound, Okay, a lot of things are there. I will use it later. Okay, currently I'm creating very basic view, but we can discuss in the future sessions what is bound, is valid, and a lot of things we are going to explore it. But current being, just you can, we are using very basic, okay, validation. Okay, so if his request dot method is first, then it's fine. Otherwise, I will use the same thing here. This time is I don't want to use the request dot first. I'm creating the simple object for the sign up form. So this is, I will keep it into the context. So the context is equal to, and you mention the dictionary. Okay. So generally, right, I'll give the sign up form. Okay. Sign up form key. And this is always first parameter. I mean, these are keys are strings, right? I mean, immutables, right? I'm giving as a string. Now I'm going to take this sign up form as an object given to this key. So I want to render to this whole content to the page, HTML page. So just return render. So here request, comma. So here we have to, I will do one thing. So in this templates, I'll create one more folder called users. I'll keep all users listed here in the templates. So in the users, you can create a file name is called the user registration file. So you can say that registration.html. So I'm creating now, and finally you can pass the context to this. Okay, simple as this registration.html. I'll create under the, so where I can create now in users only. Just create new file. Just you mention it here. Just will work. Okay. So in this registration.html, what I will do, right? I will take something, for example, this contactors.html. I'm taking, just you can copy paste. You go to this registration and you remove it because I'm taking the just template page here. I will change the body. Okay. So I will change the body. So this input and all is there, but instead of this is already existing code in there, right? You can check my previous videos where I explain about all. Say, I'll come back to this one, okay? But this one is actually a registration page, user registration page, right? User registration page. Okay, so in this user registration page, what we can do, guys, very simple. So I'm going to use this key instead of that key. So actually we are sending the key from here, right? The key is what? Sign up form key, and rest all code is same, right? So I'm going to use this sign up form key and submit button and reset button. Okay, so instead of value is submit, I will give it is a sign up page. As simple as. I'll come back to this one because we are a small thing which is we have not done, that is in the views, not in the views, URLs. You can go to the user URLs and you have to write, okay, so path, and this is for example user registration, okay, or sign up view or something, whatever the name if you want to give, user registration slash and the views dot, and what is the name of this sign up for view, comma, and we have to give the name here. Name is, for example, sign up. Okay, we are done. If I can go to this view system. So what is the flow, guys? From the URLs, I can go to the view. From the view, I can check the forms. From the forms, I can go to this model form is called the user, which is the Django predefined user model. There I can get these fields I'm giving to the user. Simple as. So this is the flow which we already discussed many times. That's how it works. Now what I can do, only last thing which is pending, we have to go to the base.html. Okay, here in this base.html, what I'm going to do, right, I need to add that menu. Okay, so we can use the menu here. So for example, I'm going to add one more list. Say that this is the user registration. So our new user, simple, we can say that for new user, click on this, and but we have to provide the link, right? So before that, so curl braces, percentile. So this is an URL. Inside that we can give the name. So what name we are giving here in the URLs? We're giving the sign up is the URL name. So I'll go to this base.html. I'll provide the same name. So now what we can do, right? I'll go to the application, the website. Okay. So this application is not. Let me run this one. Yeah, server is up now. You can go and refresh it. There is a new user here. Just you click on the new user, you can see this. Interesting, right? We got the username, we got the first name, we got last name, email address, and password. Okay. If you want to do little enhanced this, okay, if you think like this is not looks good, if you want to enhance this one also, we can do it. So I said like previously, we can use the forms, and we can give the more good feel here, right? So let me go and first create that view here. Let me go to this, making a very look and feel application. So the page, so what I'm going to do, right, I will take existing, this username I'm taking up, this is existing field. Username is equal to form dot and char field. Okay, this char field is a class basically. So char field, so inside this I'll give the label is equal to, you can mention it here. Okay, so username, or like you can give the user also, and rest of all things I don't want here. So simply I'll give the widget. So yeah, widget is equal to, then widget is the form dot text input. I'm making look and feel nothing much here. Okay, guys. So next input, and here in this attr, and then I will mention it basically, right? So we can, it's not form, it's a forms. It's also forms. Okay. Now I'm mentioning now attribute here that's called attr. So attrs, it's a dictionary. So inside this, we can say that, for example, what we can add it in the attributes here. So we can add something called class. So just you can put it as a key. Key is in the dictionary, which is in the string. In this class, we are mentioning the exact name, form control. And if you want to make it very good and look, you can use the bg light. So now I'm going to refresh this. Server is up now. Let's go and refresh the page. You can see this is the username, right? In similar case for the other tables also, you can just go ahead blindly. So you can write. So here instead of you have to follow the indentation. So you can see this username which I'm giving, right? Okay. So instead of username, I will give the first name and last name here. This is the first name, and this is the last name. This is actually column names, but here I will give the text name. First name. Label is actually like how you are representing this column in the UI. So last name, yeah. So this is, we are done. What is this error? Indentation errors. We need to be very careful with indentations. I'm going to refresh the screen. You can see this username, the first name, the last name we got. So we need to do the same thing for the, let me take this is uppercase. Yeah, same thing for the other things also. So other things like email and password. But interesting note is here, it is not the char field. So we can use the char field only, but we have email field also, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's an email field. It is the email input, as simple as, okay. So this is an email, right? So we can take it as email. So now I'm going to refresh the page here. You can see there is a, yeah, we need to change the name of label here. This is an email. So just you can go and refresh the page, and you can see there is an email. Similarly for the password also same thing. So I'm just going to take it here. So this instead of the email, so this is a nothing but the password. So we have the just we have, you can see there is no password field directory. We can use the char field only. So we can use the same char field, but here we'll change the input is password input. Simple. And this is the, you can give the password. You can use the re-enter password also. I will come back to later. So, but you can see this is the password. This is how it is. Right. We have sign up form and all. Okay, so we can also give some text. If you can go to the our HTML page, so registration.html page. If you want to write something like this, not in the form and outside, so we can write here, for example, class. Okay, text hyphen muted. Okay, and we can take it as a lead. So just you enter. These are the style basically. So what I'm going to do, right? Um, are you for already existing user, something like already existing user? Okay, so then we can give the one small form here that I'll come back later. Okay, just refresh here for already existing users, so it doesn't make sense here. Just I will add it empty iPhone 4, and so we'll give this one for existing user, we'll give separate link, and you'll understand little later. So lead, I will remove it, I'll go to this. So simple one. For existing user, I will create it, but I will keep it here. If you are existing user, will click the existing user, will go to this user registration page, simple things which I am giving. But later, right, so we are having the profile page, we'll create, we already having the profile data. We'll add this data to the profile also. So now I'm going to do very simple. I'm going to create new user here. Let's see this whether I'm able to create the user or not. Okay, so I'm going to create here test. Or else instead of test, I can say March is the username, and first name is the okay Raja. Last name is something called Mahendra, and email is raja@gmail.com. Okay, so we can create it here, and the password is yeah, the password we have to be very careful and write the standards. Okay, so I'm just writing some password which I'm entering here. Just click on sign up. Okay, so it's not giving any message to you because I'm not done any steps so far. Okay, we are not giving any message to go to the next page and all. We are not mentioned it here so far in our code. But I will go and check in the PG admin whether I am able to see that new user is March, which is created or not. Okay, hope you understand. See, so my here you can see this March which is created, and Mahindra is created, and Raja at gmail.com this is created, but you can see the password which I entered, which is not encrypted. I'll come back to this one. Why? Okay, the password which is not encrypted. Okay, I'll come back to this one. So, but we are able to see it, right? We are able to get that code. But if you want to register, because I'm not created login page so far, we'll create a login now. Then we'll log into this application as well. But we are able to register the user. Okay, even if you want to see this into the admin, go to the admin, click on the users. You can see there is a March. The new user is created now. We are able to insert the data is because I'm able to create the use data from the screen. You can go to the view site, so you can click on the new user. This new user I can able to do it right. Okay, so no problem. We can able to do it. But there is also something like a login, but I will discuss with you tomorrow. But this registration, there are few things. Please be, it is a small assignment to you. Why password is not encrypted here? The point number one. And the second thing is, most important thing is, okay, how to check the password. Okay, if the password is because most of the times we see that re-entered the password. How to check the password and re-enter password. So in the next session, I'm going to talk the how to check the password is entered the correct. I mean whether it is matching or not. And the second important thing is like why the password is not encrypted in this case. It's very important. And the next thing is tomorrow we are going to implement the login profile directly. We'll try to finish it off because I want login page like this. Okay, so let me go to show you something here. Go to this base.html and not base.html, index.html, because that's where like our home page is there. Okay, this is I'm not written. Okay, fine. So I want to create something like if you open this page, in the right side of the image, I want to show what I can write. I can, for example, let me reduce this one to the 8, and you can minimize this. And in the right side, I want to show the login page. Here I want to create one more div tag. Okay, So for example, let me take this. So I will create one more div tag here. So this div tag is 4 grids. So inside this, I will mention this one is the H3 and user login. So I can say that this is the login. Right? Can go and refresh this and create a login here. It's a very simple. We have to use the forms and form, and we can mention here form is equal to class, and we can write all the logic here. Okay, if you want to write, it's like you want to change it to the BG, BG like transparent also we can use, BG warning also you can use. For example, if we use BG warning, refresh it, because since there is no text, that's the reason it is not showing anything here. But we can write form here. But this form I don't want to write manually. I will use the directly Django form, user form, that way I can show it here and user can log into this. Okay, so tomorrow I will try to finish it off this, the user login, and you can see, I think new user it is working, but a lot of things we can do with the user registration. So it's just part one only. So next 3-4 days, we are going to invest more time on to create user authentications. Okay, so many things we have to do. I'm just giving them a small introduction. Okay, fine. So we'll catch up tomorrow and we'll see that how to proceed on the further user authentication. Thank you so much for joining the session today. We'll catch up tomorrow.